Hi guys, it's Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I'm here to review for you the new NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I actually got this in my last haul. If you guys haven't seen it, I will link it down below. It was my Colorado Beauty haul, and I got this because I was trying to find an alternative for brows. I've been using my Brow Bar to Go forever and a day. I actually have a tutorial on how I use that. I will also link that down below as well if you haven't seen it. And then I switched to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I didn't film a tutorial on it, and I actually returned it after having it for about a week. And it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that I was going through it so quickly because being that I don't really have brows, I had to use a ton of product to give myself brows. So then I ended up returning it and exchanging it for my Anastasia Dip Brow. But I realized trying to do drugstore tutorials that I didn't have any product for my eyebrows. So I was like, okay, I need to find a product. And that's when I encountered this guy. I hadn't seen it anywhere on YouTube at the time. I hadn't actually been watching YouTube. I had been on travel and just completely disconnected. And so I kind of went out on a hunt with no information, and I figured, you know what, I really like NYX, and I knew that they had pencils like the kind you sharpen, so I was actually there to find that. And instead I found this, and I was like, what? If you look at the box, it looks exactly like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. And I thought, okay, is this a dupe, people? It's a pretty darn close dupe. The Anastasia Brow Wiz is $19. This guy is $10, and I would totally recommend this if you don't want to spend the $19. Honestly, I still prefer powder and the dip brow over pencil because I do go through a lot of product. And with powder and the gel, you don't need as much product to get some brows. But with both of the pencils, I did find I had to use a ton. That's me. That's my personal brows. You guys might find it perfectly normal, and I will actually continue to repurchase this for all of my drugstore tutorials because it is seriously that amazing. The only difference between these two, obviously price point, but also is the stay power. This is definitely more on the creamier side. Like if I took my finger and I ran it across my brows, it will smear everywhere because it is a very creamy product. The Anastasia version is a little bit more waxy, so it stands on its own and it's practically waterproof. I've gotten in the shower and like if I didn't do a good job cleaning my makeup off, I'll still have brow residue when I use the Brow Wiz. Same thing with the Anastasia Dip Brow. That stuff is cray. This stuff will definitely come off, and I do recommend wearing a primer underneath it if you're an oily girl like myself. So if you guys want to see how I use this on my brows, keep on watching. So to start off, I've already got my foundation on, as you guys can see, and normally I would put a base underneath my eyebrows, but I was in a rush to get out of the house, so I kind of just went straight into applying the brows. And here I'm just going in with really light strokes, and just like my other tutorial, I always start at the bottom of my brow, and this actually provides some shape to my brows. And in the other tutorial I did one eye at a time, but normally I do them at the same time, and the reason being is so that I get a more consistent shape, because then I start one and I can compare the other to the first one that I started. If I completely complete a brow and then I try to do the other one, they end up completely different. So normally I go back and forth, and then I'll do the top portion and then fill in, and then go back to the other eye and do the top portion and fill in. And as you guys can see, again, I'm going in with really short strokes, and I'm applying with a little bit of a lighter hand for the top portion of the brow, because really the definition is the underside, and then the top portion is just really filling in color. And so here I'm just filling in everything between the bottom and the top line, and then just creating my tail. With the pencil, I notice I can't make as sharp of a tail as I can with like an angled brush with the powder. So I'll actually make it a little bit more sharp using my concealer and or foundation later. But in this case, we're just gonna fill it all in to our desired shape and darkness, and then we'll go in later. And as you guys can see here, I'm just gonna very quickly remove a little bit from the front to give that gradient effect. Then once I've done both brows, I go in with some extra foundation or concealer, and I use a concealer brush and I just clean up under the brows. This one helps me sharpen up the tail and also clean up areas that I may have messed up. And of course, you want to just kind of blend that into place. And then of course I do this for both eyes. One eye is always worse than the other, but usually I clean up both, but one will have more cleanup. Just how it goes. They're never perfect. They never are twins. Then of course, if you need to, you can also clean up the top portion, again using foundation so it blends into my face. Usually I only have to do this on one eyebrow because one always turns out better than the other. And then just blend that all out and you're done. So that is it for the demonstration. I hope you guys found that useful. If you guys want to see how I use powder or my dip brow, make sure to check out my other eyebrow tutorial down below. That's how I normally do my brows. This is very similar, just with a pencil and a little bit more product. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. I use the dip brow the exact same way I use the powder, so the tutorial is interchangeable. So yeah, check that out. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to thumbs up. Of course, if you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I do want to mention this is in the shade Brunette, and I do use the shade Chocolate in Anastasia Dip Brow. The colors are pretty similar, and I was able to swatch some of the testers in store. So if you go to Ulta, you can actually swatch the different colors against the Anastasia if you guys want to know what your shade is. And yeah, that is it. Oh, and also if you are new to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more reviews, demonstrations, and tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Erica from Brains to Beauty.